Okay. Welcome to the IIBA Tampa Bay, Florida chapter. This is our study group for June 27th, 2024. It's a 126th study group. Today we're going to be working on practice test questions for the BABOK, the Business Analysis Body of Knowledge. We're going to be working on Chapter 6, which is Knowledge Area 4, Requirements Analysis. My name is Thea Soren. I am the president of the IIBA Florida chapter, Tampa Bay, Florida chapter, and the vice president of Career and Professional Development. It's my job to help you. If you need advice, if you need guidance, if you have questions about the IIBA or business analysis or anything in relation to it, it's my job to help you. So reach out to me through LinkedIn, or you can reach out to me through the IIBA site. We are a volunteer-led organization. Our president is there in the Millennium Falcon. It's Cliff Gray. Our vice president of finance, Yulia, is around. Uche and Esther and Alicia are, Esther had to stay late at work, but the rest of the guys are here, and we so much appreciate them being here because them being here helps us make our chapter run. Our chapter is interesting. Although we're based in Tampa Bay, Florida, we have a worldwide audience, and we have worldwide chapter members. So we welcome you all. We don't charge any money for any of our events, so that makes us a little more appetizing than a couple of the other chapters. And we want to serve everyone. It's our job to lift you up. So, again, reach out to us. If you don't have a chapter, again, it doesn't matter where you live, you're welcome to join our chapter. The only reason you wouldn't join our chapter and you would join someone else is that they offer you something. For instance, if you live 10 miles away from your local chapter and they have in-person meetings, perhaps it's more beneficial to you to join your local chapter. Otherwise, join whichever chapter serves your needs. We've given you a variety of ways to reach out to us. This is our Thursday evening study group from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. We also have LinkedIn, Meetup, Zoom. We have study group materials on Google Drive that give you a wide variety of learning styles. We have our meetings recorded on YouTube, and we have our IIBA website that is currently being updated, and I'm really excited about that. Today we're going to be working on the IIBA certifications specifically around the Business Analysis Book of Knowledge. There are 4 other certifications that you're welcome to work on, but that's not what we're going to be talking about today. We enjoy talking about our wins. These are folks that have reached out to us, tell us that participating in our chapter, watching our recordings, has been beneficial to them and helped them get their certification. Seema is the last person that's reached out to us, and we're just really thrilled because, as I said, we don't get paid money. We're here to lift you up, and this is how we get paid. So let us know if we've been beneficial to you. The people that are our advisors, Bob Churchill being our leader, Yulia, Uche, and Esther, have committed to attending our meetings so that you can get an education credit, an hour of education credit for this meeting. Several of them are in attendance today, so we are able to move forward. Watermark Learning has offered to allow us to use their practice test questions, and they've also given you a discount code. If you want to get a subscription to their test questions, they've got different links. If you want flashcards, if you want classes, they've got several things that are available to you. Use the discount code TAMPA21 for 21% off. Next week, on July 4th, we will not be having a meeting. We're going to have a holiday. It's the 4th of July, Independence Day of the United States of America. We will resume these classes on July 11th. Okay, I would like to show you just a few things. As I said, our website is being updated. 2 of our board members have taken on the responsibility. On our website are upcoming events. This is training offered by our chapter and by some of our partners that are available to you. Also, if you go to chapter officers under About Us, you can get access to each of our LinkedIn profiles so that you can contact us. The IIBA has given everyone a discount this month only on your certification application, which means for your CBAP, Certified Business Analysis Professional, or your certification of capability in business analysis, CCBA, for 5 years or 3 years of experience, you can get $50 off. That ends this month. So you only have a few days left to take advantage of that. If you have not started your application, I would be glad to talk you through it. I don't suggest you wait. It takes a while to get it put together. Also, if you're not a member of the IIBA and you're interested in getting access to the Knowledge Hub can be accessed by non-members for 7 days. And just go to the IIBA website and look for Knowledge Hub. You can get all the information here. Knowledge Hub gives you access to 11,000 books, which are awesome. The IIBA also currently has a Volunteer of the Year submission that's available. If you have a business analyst in your life that has done a fantastic job for you, let them know. Give them the acknowledgement of submitting them as a nominee for this. We have our marketing person, Cliff, putting out great content on Meetup. We also have our website on LinkedIn. We have over 1,200 members on that, and that is a big contribution to Cliff. You should have received, if you're a member, an email from us. This email is asking you to take action. We need you to review the bylaws for our chapter and vote. We've given you a substantial amount of time to do it, but the sooner you do it, the better, because we need to get that done so that we can move forward with our chapter's work. R.P. Churchill has put together a fantastic reference for us. If you go to rpchurchill.com, you'll see this page. He's got fantastic information in here. If you haven't explored it, I highly recommend you do so. If you go to the Tampa Bay IIBA study group, here is our Meetup, IIBA, Zoom, Facebook. Here's our Google Drive for resource files, and here's our YouTube. But if you want to look for our YouTube information on just a specific knowledge area, he's actually put them down here. These are hours of practice test questions that we've gone through and talked about what makes one answer better than the other. So I encourage you to take advantage of that. That would lead you directly to our YouTube site. We have over 100 hours available for you there. And then, of course, I mentioned our Google Drive. There's lots of good information in here, accessible to everyone. So now we're going to get started on the test questions. Today, we are going to be working on, which course am I teaching now? We're going to be working on Chapter 6, Knowledge Area 4, which is Requirements Analysis. And then we will be just moving through the rest of the book over the next few days. Before I get started, do I have any questions? Okay. So let's see. I just blanked out. Chapter 6, Requirements Analysis. I would encourage you to go ahead and come.
Analysis.
Thank you. Thank you. Strategy analysis.
Strategy.
Got it. I actually accidentally opened up the Book of Knowledge version 2 the other day and got myself totally confused. I was like, I've got all these numbers wrong because the chapters are off and some of the names are different. So strategy analysis, we're going to begin a new exam. Please come off of mute, and if you can also turn on your camera, it makes it a whole lot easier to understand what you're saying if I can see you. We're going to talk about what the question is, what the answers are, and which one is the best answer. So let's get started. You have encountered a huge mental block in determining solution options for your project, and the project's implementation date just got moved up. You need options, and you need them fast. Which of the following will best help you? Would it be interviews, focus group, brainstorming, or benchmarking?
Brainstorming.
See.
Awesome. What does anyone want to tell me why brainstorming is fast?
Oh, because you just throw ideas.
Right. It's definitely faster than any of these other techniques that are listed. Check the answer, and it is correct. Ashish is working on a project for XYZ Insurance to enable video submission of an auto accident claim. He is specifying the conditions required to meet the business need for the effort. Ashish created the following diagram to help him understand the new process. It's a SIPOC, so it's supplier, input, process, output, and customer. So let's look at this. We've got 3 questions about it. For this, which activity is Ashish performing? Is he defining a value chain for the process, modeling requirements for the process, doing a SIPOC model of the process, or defining the future state for the process? According to the BABOK, which one is the best answer?
Modeling. It's D.
B.
B. I hear several B's.
Yeah, I was saying D, defining the future state process, but
okay. So what he's doing is
wait a second. It says the new to help you understand the new process.
Yeah. So it's the future state.
Define the conditions.
Yes.
Okay.
Then I agree. That should be D.
Okay. Let's check this answer.
I'm going D.
And the answer is correct. Very good. Next. Same SIPOC. Which component is Ashish missing from his SIPOC diagram? A customer representing the claims database, an input for the vehicle involved in the accident, an output for the attached video, or a process step for providing the claim receipt. So do we have, do we need, go ahead.
I'm sorry, let me just go through that one first one, the customer representing the claims data. I say it's either A or C, but
okay, let me make this look.
I think it's D.
It's D.
I would say B because the
okay, he's the one to enable video submission of auto accident claims.
Yeah, so I think B it's not A.
You like B as in boy?
I like D, but
D's in there.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of. There's way more detail you could put in that process.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few things you could put in there. That's why I think it could be C.
Right.
It's definitely not A.
No, not A, because insured parties in there.
Yeah, insured parties in there.
Right.
And so is claim receipt.
Yeah, but a claim receipt can it can already contain the video.
It says claim details, and so when it says an input of the vehicle, I mean that could be a part of the claim details.
So there's no process for a claim.
The other thing is that, sorry, go ahead.
What I was gonna say is in the process step, there's the record the video, open the claim app, claim the claim details, attach the video, send the claim, but there's no process to provide a claim receipt in the process.
One of the big thing is when you're doing interconnected systems, never assume that the message gets successfully sent. Tell everyone, record the step in its own database to provide a history and traceability. Also, definitely put in steps for retries and things like that. Don't assume anything just works, because that's a one-way ticket to Palookaville.
I would go with B. I'd go with B because C, the output for the attached video is included in the process step.
But where do you provide the claim receipt in this process, in the steps?
Not there explicitly.
Okay.
I misspoke earlier.
Okay, do I have two
So
votes for
sending,
B or two votes for D?
I'm voting on B because it's saying the output is the claim. So if I send the claim in the process, then I think my output becomes the claim. I'd still go with B, but
okay. You were saying D is in dog, right, Carl?
no, B is in Bravo.
B is in Bravo. Thank you.
But
okay.
But I mean, I get the argument for D, but I personally, but I don't know how many votes are for each one. That's just my vote.
Okay.
Okay, so let's
well,
decide.
Let's check this. I'm sorry, say it again.
I'm just saying that let's just check.
Okay, let's check it. Okay.
Yep, I was wrong.
The vehicle is already represented by the input of claim details.
See, that's what I said.
And the process step, since there's an output of a claim receipt, there should be a step for it in the SIPOC. Okay, now we know.
All right.
I recall
here's that thing we often get to in that question is goofy, not really well constructed. We run into this often. I say it almost every week. The questions on the actual exam are usually better than some of these.
Yeah,
okay.
I would, by looking at that, I think it's more of an assumption, right? You're to assume that the vehicle is represented in the claim details, but you don't know that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right. Well, one thing about a SIPOC is you shouldn't have to assume.
That's true.
Right. Right.
Okay. Last question on this one. During a peer review of the SIPOC, a colleague of Ashish's commented that one of the process steps was unneeded in the diagram. Was he correct? And if so, which one is unneeded? Open ABC Claim app because it can be assumed to be a precondition of the process. Let me move this up. Record video because it can be assumed to be a precondition of the process. The colleague is not correct, all steps are needed, or enter a claim details because the details are an input to the process.
D, I would say.
I would say D too, as in dog. Yep.
Yeah, because the assumptions, you just say that the assumptions are things that you have to do when you're doing a CBOK. And I think that it could be that the colleague is not correct. It sounds like a tricky one as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
Or
entering the claim details isn't really an input.
Yeah, but you need to enter them into the...
Yeah, I was thinking.
Well, record video is right there.
Yeah.
Recording the video is most likely to be a precondition excluded from the process, especially since it's an input.
The thing is that the step is required to enter claim details because you enter them into the application, right? So you have the details as input, yes, but then you need to enter them to create another object in a system. In the application, right?
So even if these questions are goofy sometimes, the way you guys are thinking about it means you'll do great on the test. Just think about what you're doing. You can figure your way through most questions.
I don't think this one is goofy because it's I mean it's correct.
Yeah, I agree because the input is, it says video clip. The input says video clip. So you would assume that you wouldn't have to, in the process step, you wouldn't have to actually record.
Well, that's like one of those things where you write a mathematical equation down that relies on the order of operations, and most people get it wrong. Why leave it to that? Why not add parentheses to make it clear? That stuff drives me wild. This isn't a logic puzzle. Make it everything you're doing clear.
Right. That one is challenging because a lot is based on your judgment, your audience, how clear, how detailed and granular do you have to make it for your audience. So we're pretty much guessing on that last one. But Bob is right. Your logic and the way you're thinking through this, and especially thank you for talking through it, tells me that you're going to be just fine. But let's keep going. Peggy is applying her findings of gap analysis to solution scope and change strategy. What should she keep in mind during this exercise? That the gap analysis finding may have to be allocated to various releases defined in the project scope. That the same techniques should be used to describe the current and future states to simplify the comparison. The findings must be applied to both the transition and future states, or the most timely way to acquire new capabilities so the business can realize value as quickly as possible.
I would say that from the words that they use, B is the one that sounds more like BABOK. And if you use the same techniques to describe the current and future state, it does simplify the comparison.
Uh-huh.
And
it says,
sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I would say that D sounds really reasonable. However, it has nothing to do with the gap analysis. So it's just it's just a good way of, you know, doing the analysis.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why, like, the gap analysis should be between the current and future states, showing it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So the one that mentions that is that one. The findings must be applied both to transition and future states. It's not something that you need to keep in mind when doing the exercise.
Let's eliminate something. For example, A. So I believe that business analyst doesn't need to worry much about the project releases, because it's a project manager responsibility, right? So the scope is the thing that matters more. So I guess we can eliminate A.
Does everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. Good, good. Okay, so we have B, C, and D. We've got one vote for B and one vote for D. Is that correct?
I vote for B.
Okay, we got two votes for B.
I'm voting for C.
Charlie.
Yeah, I would think C for Cat. Yeah.
I'm going to apply. I'm going to do just that. I'm going to think that I got to use this gap analysis for both the transition and the future state is what I'm thinking in my brain. But
yeah,
hopefully the BABOK's thinking the same thing.
But she's saying that it's applying the gap analysis to the solution scope and the change strategy. So it's already saying on the sentence, the first sentence, that she's applying the findings of the gap analysis, which is the current versus the future state.
Mm-hmm.
She's applying those findings to the solution scope and the change strategy. And so then that one C is saying findings must be applied to both transition and future states.
So
is it like as well?
It's like negating what it said here, solution scope and change strategy, and replacing it with transition and future states. I don't know.
We can check it. Let's check with
We're going to check it.
Let's check it.
Ooh, C is right.
C.
Gap analysis identifies the differences between current state and future state capabilities and need to be addressed in the transition and future states. So that's where the combo is.
Good idea to read 6442 and
so this is a
back all these things.
Okay. So, very good. Make a note, guys. Do you want me to do it now, Bob?
No, but this particular chapter has a lot of boxes, a lot of inputs and outputs. It's very detailed. So you're thinking about it the right way, but it's a good thing to actually read the chapter in this case.
Okay. CADE is studying an enterprise's current key metrics and performance indicators, IT systems, organizational charts, business architecture, and policies. What sort of initiative is CADE most likely working on? A systems integration initiative? There's not enough information in this scenario to infer what type of project CADE is working on. A process improvement initiative or an organizational change initiative?
I would say D as in dog.
Tell me why you like that.
Because
we're talking about org charts and just the structure of the business in general. So that's kind of what I would think.
It's good logic. Do you have a second vote?
Yep, I like it
I vote for D.
Okay. Check that answer.
No.
No. Too broad. According to the BABOK, the listed inputs are needed for a process-centered view of an organization, which is necessary for process improvements. So these are inputs into process improvement. This one is one of the harder chapters for me. I don't know how you feel about it, but it is harder for me. Which task is the strategy analysis knowledge area use business requirements as the sole input? So there's only one that has business requirements as the sole input. Is it define future state, assess risks, define change strategy, or validate requirements?
I think it's A.
Tell me why you like A.
Because your requirements are going to define its future state.
That's just true. Okay.
I think
Do I have a second vote?
I think it's
for
D,
defining the current.
I like A, but it could be D.
I say D as well.
Somewhere between A and D. I think it's between A and D.
I would say D.
Okay.
Is this task
Okay.
requirements only applicable to business requirements? I would say it's applicable for all of them, not just business requirements. Isn't it?
But it says it's its sole input. Input.
But they do not say just requirements. They say business requirements. So what about other requirements?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Here's the deal. What you do in your real life is not necessarily what the BABOK says. You got to answer this the way the BABOK says. So you got to know which one has this as the sole input.
I'm just saying it's kind of confusing that this would mean we validate only business requirements. We do not validate any other requirements, right? So
there's two answers that you can eliminate.
It's a good point.
Do we validate validate requirements in strategy analysis? I don't remember.
Yeah, but
no flow chart.
Strategy.
Really
okay, so this is A. Then this is A. If strategy analysis knowledge area. I thought we have questions here only from the another knowledge area, the requirements analysis and design definition.
No, this is the strategy analysis.
You're right. We talked about going through strategy analysis today. So let's check this.
Okay, sorry.
And this is correct. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, which of the following is not a term used to describe a stakeholder's risk attitude? Is it risk seeking, neutrality, risk threshold, or risk aversion?
Threshold.
So which ones are? Well, risk aversion is one, right?
C, I guess.
So
yeah,
that's
Charlie.
You think that's the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Threshold is a synonym for tolerance, but is not used in the BABOK to describe the stakeholder's risk attitude. How much detail should a solution scope contain? The solution scope should be described in enough detail to allocate resources for the project. The solution scope should be described in just enough detail to ensure the stakeholders understand what value will be delivered. The solution scope should describe the boundaries of the solution, or the solution scope should be described in enough detail to effectively address and anticipate concerns of all stakeholders, thus ensuring buy-in.
C.
B
Yeah,
as in
D.
boy.
Oh, D as
Okay.
a dog. But for me.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the difference then. Those of you who say B, why do you like B?
I think it is, of the three choices, the correct one, because it will ensure the stakeholders understand the value to be delivered. The last one is very similar, but it says to ensure buy-in and anticipating the concerns. I don't remember anything about that under solution scope around anticipating concerns or ensuring buy-in. So I think B is the closest answer.
Okay.
Oh, that makes
And
sense.
those of you who like D, why do you like that one better?
You ask about C?
Okay,
I
let's
vote
talk
for
about C. Why do you like C?
Because this is the intent of solution scope definition.
Okay.
Sorry.
And no, it makes sense. I like the logic.
Could be.
And those of you who like D, why do you like that one more?
Well, I liked it, but Van convinced me that it's B. Logic.
Okay.
I hope I'm right.
Well, it looks like we've got more votes for B.
Or C,
Let's check
D,
this answer.
C, B.
Oh, it is B.
Lucky.
The solution scope can be described in many different ways to help with stakeholder understanding. Very, very good. And not luck, that's skill, dude.
I think
Which
it
of the
should
following
have been C.
which of the following techniques can be used to help define the solution scope? Would it be root cause analysis, cost benefit analysis, functional decomposition, or work breakdown structure? Which one does the BABOK say?
C. Functional decomposition.
Functional. Okay. Did I have a second vote?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's check it. And that is correct. It is used to break down the components of the solution into parts when developing a change strategy. Very good. Sophia is a BA who has just helped business owner define the business need relating to a new service that her company wants to offer. The company is expecting this new service to increase revenues, increase market share, and reduce customer complaints. She, along with key stakeholders, have generated alternative change strategies related to the new service and are completing business cases to support a recommendation. Sophia realizes that she has no idea of the potential business and technical ramifications or magnitude of the effort. She realizes she needs to step back and complete which task, element, technique next. Sophia and her team need to assess risk. Sophia and her team need to define the potential negative impact to value of the recommended solution. Sophia and her team need to analyze constraints, assumptions, and dependencies associated with their recommended solution. Or Sophia and her team need to identify risks.
I would say C as in cat.
I agree.
Okay. Let's check it. This is true, but all risks need to be analyzed. You know, that's not what I thought either. She has no idea of the potential benefits or technical ramifications or magnitude of the effort. How does that go to risks?
Risks speak to uncertainty.
Everything you don't know is a risk.
Right? Oh, that's true. She's saying she doesn't know. I don't know. Does this seem wonky to y'all?
Well, what Bob is saying is that assess risks is composed by all of the others describing C, so that's why it's more generic. more general than C.
Right.
And D would be identifying risk. You need to assess the risk as well as identifying. So C is not enough. So following Bob's logic, it makes sense that it's A.
It does. It does. Bob, I'm so glad that you're here.
Wait, why wasn't that D? Why wasn't that identify risks? So she's already
It's not a
identified?
task. The task is assess risk.
Oh, the task is assess. Okay.
Yep. Tricky word.
Yep. 6.3 is assess risks.
Got it.
Good catch. Jessica is the lead business analyst for a major upgrade of enterprise resource planning, ERP software, for her company. She is concerned about the risks associated with achieving the future state that the sponsor wants for the enterprise. Besides the sponsor, which of the following stakeholders would be sensible to invite to these meetings? Would it be end users, suppliers, customers, or business analysts?
Is this more than one answer? Or is it
just
one?
Just one.
It's only one. Okay.
We already know that the sponsor.
Oh, the sponsor
suppliers. I believe it's suppliers.
Well, the suppliers are not gonna. Suppliers are not gonna point you necessarily the risks.
Yeah, but it's an upgrade of the enterprise resource planning. Right. I was just gonna say that. So it sounds like it would be suppliers.
Yeah, but the suppliers are trying to sell you the ERP probably. So they're gonna, I don't know.
But they also can enlighten you about the probable risks that that their software may, I don't know, have.
So she's concerned about the risk associated with achieving the future state that the sponsor wants for the enterprise. I don't know.
Yeah, what about the definition of future state doesn't correspond to this software capabilities?
Since it's a ERP software, I'm thinking supplier. I would say B.
I'm gonna vote
I would
for
say
A.
customers. Yeah,
I think end users.
I think it would be A.
Yeah. I guess we could go through the logic. Okay. We can eliminate one, business analysts.
Yeah, we can.
We will be there, but that's not one of the official things. So I think but I'm going to say end users because and the reason is I say they're going to be familiar with the current state and might be able to make you aware of things to look out for as risks for getting to the future state.
Totally agree.
Okay, let's check the answer. Ooh.
Dang it.
No way. Okay, suppliers are on the list of stakeholders to assess risk task. And it's logical because it's the ERP system. So whoever said risks, whoever said suppliers, bravo to you. In what situation would feasibility analysis be most helpful? When the sponsor places constraints upon the solution options, migrating critical applications to a cloud environment, buying a COTS, commercial off-the-shelf package, or resolving a business problem?
B as a boy.
Tell me why you like B as in boy.
Because it's feasibility and it's a critical application moving to a cloud environment. So you want to see if it's feasible to do it or not. Buying a cost package is just buying something. You can buy whatever you want. It's not, resolving a business problem. I think it's most useful for the critical migrating a critical application than resolving a business problem. It could be done by a business problem, but if you're moving critical applications.
Okay, I like your logic.
I kind of like A too. As far as, if a sponsor puts a constraint on it, then you have to go back and figure out, well, how can we get this done? What's feasible to get this done? So that's kind of how my mind was thinking.
Yeah, mine too, because I
Okay.
was,
But my last two answers have not been correct. So
the constraint might be money. So, I mean,
right,
Might be.
right.
Right. Okay, so I've got 2 votes for A. Let's check the answer. And B is
Oh my
right.
gosh,
Okay,
B is right.
constraints are always a consideration, but given the options, this is not the most useful. As migrating critical applications to a cloud environment, this is a major and complex endeavor. A feasibility analysis is warranted, especially given the criticality of the applications. So New Zealand gets a win.
Woohoo!
good job. That's
Woohoo!
exactly what you said.
Yep, yep.
Yep.
And you know what, guys? This just shows us this conversation is where we get our value. It's not just answering the questions, it's us talking it through and reasoning with each other.
I spent a lot of my life on that answer.
Yeah. Jamie is working on a mobile banking initiative to allow customers to perform all deposits and withdrawal functions using a mobile phone. He is familiarizing himself with the organization's structure in order to better understand the current state environment. For the scenario above, please answer question. That's weird. Why is reviewing the organization's structure so important to a change initiative? So the stakeholders aren't overlooked in the elicitation process. It will assist the business analyst in the recommendation of a sponsor for a change initiative so that the political impacts of transitioning to a future state are thoroughly understood, and reporting structure may aid or limit a potential change. What do y'all think the BABOK says?
From my own personal experience, I'm gonna say D.
Have you find that the organization, the reporting structure has been limiting at times?
Well, I think it will.
So I will eliminate B because I don't know if I don't think that the business analyst recommends a sponsor. I think that that's done before. So B is not, B as a boy is not, I think.
Agreed.
Right.
Can toss that one.
Yeah.
I agree.
Political
so
impacts also eliminate.
Sounds good.
Yeah, leaving us with A and D. I lean towards A.
Why do you like A, Ben?
Because, and although I was wrong on the last one, but had a good explanation. But the stakeholders, so your stakeholders, are key. Well, if you don't correctly identify your stakeholders, you're not going to have a good elicitation. You're not going to invite the right people. Yeah, you're going to get a bunch of stuff, but you're going to have gaps. So if you don't want gaps in your elicitation, you probably better understand the org structure and make sure that you're getting all the right stakeholders. So that's why
good
I
logic.
think A.
I
Watch,
like
it'll be wrong.
I don't think about. I don't think I read anything about the reporting structure in BABOK, but I don't know.
Did you read about organizational structure?
Yeah, but I'm saying like the reporting structure may aid or I don't know.
Okay.
No, I didn't. Probably.
So are you saying that you like A better now?
Yep. I like A better.
I like A too.
Let's check it. Ooh.
Dang it. Never listen to
You gotta
Ben.
be kidding me. 6142. I gotta go find.
At this point in chapter 6, we're seeking to understand current state. We're not planning elicitation activities.
Oh, I see. Yep, it's the right answer for the wrong chapter.
Yep, right answer for the wrong chapter.
Right chapter, maybe the wrong sub-activity within the chapter.
So reporting structure, communication channels, and relationships are heavily influenced by the organizational structure. Okay, so now we know.
I would never select that answer.
I think that's goofy personally, but
do you want me to identify it as goofy?
Might be fair.
Okay. Showing it as goofy, sir.
Oh, the BABOK.
It's done.
The BABOK actually says those exact words. It says, yeah, they're heavily influenced by it, and reporting structure may aid or limit a potential change in 6.1.4.2.
Yep.
But it's
Right
kind
there.
of unfair to ask this question this way.
Yeah, it is.
So
that's awesome.
That's what makes this question goofy.
Yeah, the way it was asked.
A real test question would not be that picky. They're trying to make it hard. They're not trying to kill you.
Well, we knew it was between A and B. We did narrow it down between A and B.
We did. We were that good, at least. Sam's recommendation was unanimously approved by the steering team. Yay! What really sold decision makers were the forecasted benefits of future state he modeled with incredible detail. How will Sam utilize that forecasted potential value in the business analysis process? Sam will ensure that all requirements and designs support the delivery of the forecasted benefits. Sam will define metrics and key performance indicators from which to measure the solution performance once the future state is implemented. Sam will ensure the requirements and designs meet quality standards and are usable for the purpose they serve. Or Sam assessed and reported the potential value in order to drive consensus among decision makers. Since consensus was reached, the primary purpose of the forecasted benefits has been fulfilled. Any of those we can eliminate?
Requirements on designs. I'm gonna stop. I've been saying too many things wrong. It doesn't feel like it's from this strategy analysis, but requirements on design. So I would say that that's from another.
When you're taking the exam, though, you may not know what chapter it's asking about. So you can't necessarily eliminate that when you're in the test.
True.
I like the way you're thinking, though.
So I'd like to eliminate this answer because it's basically saying he put the reported and potential value together, and now once they accepted it and they said, go ahead, there's nothing else to do with it. I don't think that that's true. Y'all agree?
I agree with that. There's some things in there about you have to put in some way to show that that you actually realize your potential value.
Right.
So yeah, it's not done,
okay.
That's for sure. So D is eliminated.
Right. And Julian says B.
I like he's got to define, or she's got to define what the metrics are going to be and what those key pieces are going to be to show that there's actually value. So they're just defining at this stage. They're not providing or measuring it at the moment. It's just a definition of what is going to capture the actual measurement of the value.
Oh,
I like
that's
that logic.
brilliant. Yeah. Because
okay,
the other two says ensure.
Ooh. What?
I was going to say, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, your
okay.
logic was brilliant. We loved it. So this says solution performance does not necessarily equate to business value. A high-performing solution may not deliver the value it was forecast. Well, yeah, that's true, but you've got to be able to measure it, right? And this is talking about creating your way to measure it. Sam will ensure that all requirements and designs support the delivery of forecasted benefits. Forecasted benefits is another way of saying needed value. The answer describes the task of validating requirements, which is one of the tasks that uses the future state description and output of the defined future state task, which is what the scenario described.
No, I thought A and B both sounded very plausible, but you have to know what the book says.
Yep. Gotta know what the book says.
That's fine.
Say it again, Carl.
After going through these, I often wonder how I passed this stupid.
Yeah. I wonder how I'm going to.
I was thinking that
Most of you will. You'll do great.
I was thinking he had to come up with if he came up with his forecasted benefits in future state, he may have already defined some of these metrics and KPIs in order to get to the future state. That was the only thing that maybe have been a tip off of that.
Right. Okay, let's move on.
One of those things where you have to think about the full life cycle. So you need to demonstrate at the end as part of verification and validation and acceptance that you delivered the value. So
right. Okay, we're not going to finish the full 25, but let's keep going and see what we can get done. Clara is a new BA on an initiative. Thomas, the BA who defined the business need in future state, was transferred to the company's headquarters. The instructions he left Clara were to look at the existing capabilities related to the business need and desired outcomes and figure out what was needed to realize the future state. Clara was unsure what the capabilities meant, thinking that they were system features. Thomas coached her that capabilities could include functions, processes, products, functions, processes, locations, functions, processes, and solution scope, or lines of service, processes, and products.
D.
Definition of capability? D is in dog, okay.
I'm pretty sure that lines of service is one of them. And inside line of services, there's a lot of things.
Why do you eliminate A?
You like A better?
I do.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. I'm just asking.
Okay.
So if anyone has the same opinion.
What can we eliminate?
Okay, let's go.
Well, I'm sure capabilities does not include locations.
Yeah, that's
you all agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And C we can also eliminate. So
And
A or D.
What is
I'm
line?
gonna go with A.
Okay, we've got 2 votes for A. Let's try it out.
I'll say A also. Ah, dang it.
Whoa,
C.
how did you do this? Locations, really?
Locations is one.
Okay.
A capability is a location.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, 6.442. Go ahead, Carl.
I was questioning. I didn't speak up, but I was questioning products too. I was actually asked. I was going to ask the question: is a product a capability? But I didn't speak up. But
right. Well, a product is less of a capability than a location for sure. Because it could be you're trying to get requirements for an ATM, and locations would be a capability there, wouldn't it? Okay, now I know. So functions, processes, and products is incorrect. Functions, processes, and locations are capabilities. Tony has listed a risk in the BA risk register that states the off-the-shelf solution will not interface with the existing accounting system without significant customization. Team members have asked him to remove it from the register. Why? Because the team has determined a solution, because the solution risk that will be addressed by the delivery system, it is a solution risk that will be addressed by the delivery system, because it is a design risk and should be addressed by the solution architect, or because the statement is not a risk.
The statement for me, it's not a risk. A risk is if this happens, this would happen.
Yeah.
That's a statement that's happening. It will not interfere. It will not interface with the existing accounting system.
It would. I would agree with that. It wouldn't be a risk unless they had significant what's the word? They had significant employee or issues, like if they didn't have enough employees to customize it, or if their IT department wasn't good in doing that or something like that, which they don't mention.
That's
Like it
true.
could be
They
a
don't
risk.
mention that.
Yeah, I
if
like
there's
D2. Yeah.
if they had
Okay.
a
Let's check
limitation.
this answer. And it is
Yeah.
true. Since it's
Yeah.
known the solution is not currently compatible with the accounting system, it is an issue versus a risk. Risks contain a level of uncertainty and should be moved to the issues log. Very good.
Yep. Agreed.
Okay. Ryan is a BA working on gathering information for a business case. He is using benchmarking studies of the competition. He has determined that the potential risks associated with implementation are roughly the same as the expected value. Which of the following would Ryan most likely recommend? Recommend the organization not pursue the change, seek ways to increase solution value that will outweigh the risks, pursue the change and its potential benefits regardless of the risk level, or pursue the change and invest in some risk mitigation.
I will eliminate C.
I would say
Why?
B.
Okay, we want to eliminate C.
I was saying to eliminate that one because, like, you have to think about the risk. It's like that's just saying, oh, we're going ahead, doesn't matter what. You at least are gonna try to mitigate the risk.
Right. And I got to vote for B. Seek ways to increase solution value that will outweigh the risks.
B and D are opposites. They're attacking the same problem from both ends.
Yeah.
Right.
And it may or may not be meaningful.
So which one does the BABOK say he should do?
I would say A.
You like A?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because this
I think
it's
makes sense.
possible. I mean, it's okay if you recommend not
Right.
doing nothing.
Okay. Do I have another vote for one of these?
A
Yeah,
may
I vote
be
for A.
what they're trying to get at.
Okay, I
Yeah,
got two
I'd
votes
go
for
with
A.
B. I'd go with B. Yep,
B.
I'd go with B.
And B, seek ways to increase solution value that will outweigh the risk. So according to the BABOK, that is the best answer. So I'm going to submit the exam to get our scores, and then I've got to do the division. So we had 8 correct out of 7, no, out of, what were we on, 20? I don't remember what we were on, guys.
Oh, they were saying an answer
We
7.
were on 18.
18, okay.
Yep, 8 out of 8.
18.
8 out of
7 unanswered.
17 is just less than half.
Yep. So we did not do the stellar job that we would want to do. The question is do we want to do this chapter again next week? This is a chapter that in cycles past, we have had to do it twice because we were not getting good results. So do you want to repeat this chapter next week?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got
Repeat.
my
2
vote.
weeks.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Week after.
2
Oh,
weeks,
that's
but
right.
yeah.
2 weeks.
Right, not
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So
Yeah.
we are skipping the 4th of July. You get 2 weeks, not 1, 2 weeks to study for this one. We're going to come back here. We're going to be better than we were before because we're going to study more. As I said, this one is probably the hardest chapter that anyone encounters. So don't beat yourself up because it's hard. It's been historically proven to be hard. We're going to come back here and do strategy analysis again, and we're going to see all of y'all here. And if you know anybody else who's studying for their CBAP, invite them. We don't help people but unless they come and participate and learn. So let them know we're doing this. We want to help everybody. Do we have any other notes, Cliff?
What is that?
Bob,
Yes.
It's a glare. I
Yeah,
see
Bob,
it.
that's reference to the 41-year-old movie I referred to last week. You should hear this quote.
You have to play break.
Tell it to play, just let us hear it.
Wrong finish. I will use every means necessary, fair and unfair, to trip you up, to expose your weaknesses as
Major
a
pain.
aviator and as a human being. Understand?
There we go.
There we go. Okay.
Every
We will
means
use
fair
any
and
means
unfair.
necessary.
We ran into a bunch of them tonight.
So, you guys, I want you to realize you guys are from all around the world. We've got New Zealand represented. We've got Colorado Springs represented. We've got Tampa, Florida represented. We've got Springfield, Missouri represented. We've got somebody. Oh, Van, where are you at?
Mason, Ohio.
Okay. So, guys, we're from
Oh,
everywhere.
Dan, I'm in Ohio too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Where at?
that's awesome.
Toledo area.
Toledo. Okay. Up north.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, and after we put this on YouTube tonight, we've got a whole bunch of folks in Africa and other places that listen to it, and they were part of our group. They can't participate because they're literally 12 hours off. This is in the middle of their night, or 14 hours off. This is in the middle of their night. So
I'm 16 hours off
together.
or something like that. So
Yeah,
it's the day for me. It's
it is.
12 o'clock.
It is. Right. So we're all getting ready to take our CBAP. If anyone has any questions about what you're working on or your application or just needs encouragement, reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. And I will see y'all in 2 weeks. Have a happy 4th of July off next Thursday. We're going to come back here better than we were before. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy.
See you guys later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.